Hey guys, let's go over that big new rule change. So exciting that will help SSI people. So this is not for SSD people, just SSI people with regard to whether you're getting free room and board or gifted, not paying your fair share and all that business. And therefore then getting whacked by 1/3 of your SSI instead of getting the full SSI federal benefit rate of in 2024 is $943. Okay, so in the past, what you might be familiar with is if you have a rental arrangement with whoever, could be family, could be stranger, and you are not paying your fair share, which would be deemed to be whatever the current market value is, the going rate, shall we say, of that kind of rental for somebody else. Like, what would the landlord normally rent it to if it wasn't for you? And if you're not paying that full amount, then you are getting a gift, getting it subsidized, and it's going to affect your SSI benefit amount for every month that's going on. Okay, so the example they give in the Federal Register explanation, which was kind of handy, was, for instance, if you're a landlord and you're renting out to an SSI beneficiary an $800 room or apartment, but they can only pay you $400, so you agree to rent it to them for $400, even though it would be $800 on the open market. They're getting a subsidy, and they will be then whacked the 1/3, which in 2024 is $334 and change, subtracted off of their SSI benefit amount, because you're giving them this big freebie section of the rent. Okay, so that is going to change. Instead of comparing what you pay to what would be the open market, fair market value of the apartment or the room, they are saying the rent you are obligated to pay, does it at least meet PMV, that presumed market value, which is that 1/3 amount for the year that they're giving, which is $334 and change. Does your rent cover, is at least that amount required of you? If so, then bingo. We're going to just go with that. You're not going to get attacked with ISM, in-kind support and maintenance, and not get deducted that 1/3. It's huge. Huge. So I'm really psyched about it. I've been babbling all week about all of these new rule changes. Some of them are good for only SSI people. Some are good for Social Security, Disability, and SSI people. And these rules could have been done in the last 3 years, and of course they weren't. But we're in a election time period, so you got hung out to dry for quite a while. But now it's coming around, so let's take it. I'm very glad for it. I'm glad for everyone it's going to help. It's going to definitely put a lot more money in the pockets of SSI individuals. And I believe it could also perhaps put some people into SSI that were not able to be into SSI, due to the way the finances worked out because of how this ISM in this particular instance would pan out. So it's good for all those folks, and if it's good for you, I'm glad. So let's give a kudos to that, and I will see you on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, so I just heard that another video is being attached here that pertains to the subject matter of the video you just watched. So if the shoe fits and it's of interest to you, feel free to stick around. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, let's talk a little bit about ISM, in-kind support and maintenance. I know it's really confusing. It concerns SSI individuals, not SSD, or and not Social Security retirement individuals either. So it's SSI, that's a big chunk of people. So let's go over it a little bit. As you know, SSI is a needs-based program, right? So the full amount for 2024 is $943 from the federal government. Whenever we have other money coming into us, or ostensibly available to us, we get generally, some of our SSI benefit reduced accordingly because the SSI is only supposed to be based on a need, and it's a numerical formula. It's not based on your perceived need for something or someone else's perceived need that's different. Therefore, they should get more than you because they feel they need that more than you, or whatever. It doesn't work like that. Obviously, that would not work. That would not function in a program that deals with millions of people, right? So it's a set amount, $943. And so if you are, gifted $300 a month, that 943 is going to be reduced accordingly. It would be reduced by, on the outset, 300, the 300 you get. However, there happens to be a $20 exclusion for the first $20 you receive that's unearned by you. So technically it would be 280, but let's not quibble over that because it'll start maybe getting you a little confused. So generally, for every unearned piece of cash that comes your way, you will, or earned is another story, but we're not going to get into that right this second. You will be having your SSI for that particular month that you received that other income in the form of a gift reduced accordingly. Cash, is the obvious way income is received. However, income can be in a variety of other ways. And there's something called ISM, in-kind support and maintenance. In-kind means it's a thing and not the cash, basically. And it is unearned income. This is how they describe it. Unearned income in the form of food or shelter or both will be considered ISM and relevant to your SSI amount. There are other ways, by the way, to have income of sorts come in that does not count as ISM and is not cash, and therefore will not reduce your SSI as a matter of law. That's a whole nother thing to go into. But for our purposes here, cash or ISM, in-kind support and maintenance, meaning food, shelter, or both, if given to you, will reduce your SSI. Okay. So when we talk about food and shelter, you got to know that, for instance, shelter constitutes not just the roof over your head and the value of that. It also includes the basic utilities such as heat, water, electric, garbage disposal. If there's sewer, that would be in there as well. So when they talk about shelter and being gifted a piece of shelter, let's say someone's not giving you your shelter, but they're paying your electric bill. That's not going to work. That will be counted. So just know that shelter is a broad umbrella over all the things relevant to a basic, modest roof over one's head. So historically, with shelter, and it gets a little complicated, but if you're not paying what they legally decide is your fair share of your shelter, then you are generally getting ISM, and they can deduct from your SSI benefits owed that month. So, I have other videos, I think, where we touched on the fact that there are other ways to help SSI folks. Family members can help them without paying the roof over their head or giving them cash. They have other bills, so maybe cover one of those that isn't going to, impact their SSI benefit. Okay, so they go on to say here that they use two rules to determine the value of the ISM that you are receiving, if you're receiving any. One, the value of the 1/3 reduction rule, and also the presumed maximum value rule. So I'm not going to get too heavy into the weeds with them, but if you generally, when you are not paying your fair share, they're going to reduce by 1/3, or they're going to reduce by the presumed maximum value rule, one way or another. unless you can show that you are paying your fair share. And again, this, the way you're going to have impact on your shelter is if you're living in another household and not paying your fair share, or you are living on your own, but someone is paying your shelter for you. So those are two things that you can really, really do a lot of things to avoid. There are ways to manage that and to negotiate those things so that's not happening. All completely, appropriate ways to do that. But in-kind support, food and shelter, or both, and also cash is out the door. But the ISM is the food, shelter, or both. So you got to really follow those rules. Okay, really, really big. It really, I talk to people a lot of the time about, stop taking as a gift your shelter. Start, get under a rental agreement with whoever it is and start paying rent, owing rent. So even if you can't pay the full amount, you got a pending disability claim, you don't have the income right now. God, I really think I have a cold. You will be doing yourself in the end probably a favor if you just go into a rental arrangement. This is particularly true if you're living with family, I would say. Where nobody really thinks about it, but it'll be really important in order for you to collect your benefits without interruption or reduction. Okay, and that'll leave more for you to sustain yourself, reasonably sustain yourself. All right, ISM guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.